As we go on, it says, after fasting and praying, they laid their hands on them and sent them off. Notice that they were fasting and praying, worshiping and working for the Lord. It was in the midst of their faithful obedience that they had the hearing. You have no idea how much you could enhance your hearing if you would enhance your obedience. Think about it. Why in the world would God give you the blessing of intimacy and hearing if you're in the process of disobeying and pushing away? It says, while they were worshiping and praying. We need to be a people who worship and pray. We need to be a people of prayer, not as a cause and effect, not so that we get this, but because it's who we are. Because these people were lovers of God, hearers of his voice, recognizing that they had been saved and selected, all by his grace. They're living out this love affair. And in the midst of their loving, and because they were listening in their prayer, they could hear the Lord say, set apart for me. Friends, this is the difference, and this is how you get to that place of somebody saying, well, Pastor Jeff, you always tell us we're all missionaries. Well, we're not all sent to here or there, and that's true. But please understand that every single Christian, every true disciple is a missionary. You've been called to be a witness. You've been called when you were saved to go make disciples. In many ways, you've been called to teach, right? Every one of us, go teach them to obey everything that I have commanded you, said Jesus. We're called to be evangelists. This is the essence of witnessing. We're all called. But how do you know if you're supposed to go to Vermont? Or how do you know if you're supposed to go to Uganda? Or how is it that so-and-so went here? Again, I told you, I thought we were going to Northwest China. How do you end up on Kent Island? Because God says so. Because he made it clear. This is why we fast and we pray and we worship and we listen. Because when it's going to get very specific, you've got to hear. You've got to. I was warned in seminary, be careful that you don't drag your family off to some mission field where you think you're doing great things for God, but if it's not on his assignment, then it's just a prideful expression of your own religion. And I was thinking, whoa, I don't get that. Hang on. They say, oh yeah, it happens all the time. Somebody thinks that they're going to do great things for God, so they go and they create a ministry. And on the outside, it looks great. Like, wow, Northwest China is really hard living out there. That's awesome. Wow, what a Christian you are. And if it's not God's assignment, no, it's not a great Christian. It's a disobedient, prideful, religious person. You see, you've got to hear to know. But when God does say, Kent Island, Maryland, St. Johnsbury, Vermont, Kampala, Uganda, you say, yes, Lord. These men, none of which have any business in Antioch, are there because God sent them there, right? There are no local guys here. These are all sent ones.